Hi guys, hope you're good. Hope everything's well with all of you. I know it's been a minute and so that's why I thought I'd come at you with this first video and talk you guys through exactly what's been happening with me. I know I mentioned it briefly in one of my previous videos about exactly what I was going through, the changes in my life, and I thought that initially I would put this video out as a Layla's pieces and kind of talk about turning points in life. So I don't know if you guys want to see a Layla's pieces about turning points in life after you watch this video, but maybe this video kind of captures the essence of what I'm trying to say well enough that you won't need it. I don't know, but if you do, I'll definitely go ahead and do that. First things first, health and well-being. Over the last, I would say, maybe like 5 months, 5-6 months, my health has just not been amazing. It hasn't been fantastic. It hasn't even been like okay. It started out pretty much with me feeling super tired all the time, and I didn't really know why I was feeling so tired. And then leading on from that, my migraines came back. So some of you that have been around a long time may recall that I suffer from chronic migraines. However, about 8 years ago maybe, I would say, I cut out dairy from my life. So I don't really have dairy. I don't eat dairy. I do sometimes cheat and I have halloumi cheese, because that's like the only dairy that I can have and not have like an immediate reaction. But other than that, I don't have dairy, and that's because dairy exacerbates migraines. Since I gave up dairy, you know, my life has pretty much been smooth sailing, and you know, I get the occasional migraine, but it hasn't been anything crazy. I hadn't experienced migraines like this in an extremely long time, to the point where like I needed to be in dark rooms. I needed the lights off. If I was at work, I'd ask everyone if it was okay for me to turn the light off. I'd have to kind of stop working. The laptop was too bright. It was just painful, so painful that I was sent home a few times. It was really bad, and I just didn't know what was happening. I hadn't really put one and one together, so I just didn't know. And then, you know, flash forward to July, I actually filmed a video that day. So if any of you have seen my sleek bun video, that was the day I experienced my first ever panic attack. So that day, you know, I woke up in the morning, I filmed the tutorial, I got dressed, I went to church, and after church I went to the Wireless Festival. That was the Drake day, the day with Drake's birthday. Yeah. And I went to Wireless with my friend Whitney. Some of you may recall her, Miss Whitney Q. She's been on the channel before. We went to Wireless together. Everything was fine. I went to see, you know, Mos Def. Everything was okay, and you know, at one point we were waiting for Drake to come on, and I just started to feel really hot. And I was just like, Whitney, like, I'm super hot. And at one point we kind of got a little bit separated. We kind of, I don't know, we met some guys, but we didn't really meet them. They kind of like intruded in our space, so we kind of started talking to them or whatever. And by the point that I felt like I was gonna die, Whitney and I weren't even standing next to each other anymore because people had been pushing. And all I remember is I felt hot, and then I dropped to the ground. And I could hear people saying, oh my god, like, help her. And I heard Whitney screaming, Layla, oh my god, Layla. I'm getting like emotional. But because I go to a lot of concerts, and I've mentioned that on the channel before, and I always see people pass out and like they get carried at the front, and you know, people pick them up and take them away, and I was literally that person. All I could feel was like some girl grabbed me, and she literally was like, move to everyone, and she took me to the very front of the space where the barriers were and the security guard people were, and they literally picked me up from the crowd. And at that point I could not breathe. Like, I was not breathing. at all. I was literally not breathing. They took me to the medical center, and I remember like the guy was talking to me and saying, "What's wrong? How are you feeling? It's okay, calm down. What's your name?" And they started taking my name, and other people were coming in, and I was just sat there and I just couldn't breathe, and I was shaking. I couldn't breathe, and I kept saying I can't breathe, and literally I just started crying. Like, I was crying. I couldn't stop crying because I couldn't breathe. I literally felt like this is the day that I was going to die. I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack before, but you literally feel like you're dying. Nobody could tell me that I wasn't gonna die that day. And I was just like, I can't breathe. I kept saying I can't breathe, and I was crying like crazy. And at that point, my fingers went numb. They were numb. I couldn't feel them, but I could see them like turning blue and tensing. And literally my hands were like this, and they were blue. They were like rock hard and blue. I could feel the weight of my hands, but I couldn't actually feel my hands. And I just kept screaming, I can't feel my hands, I can't feel my hands. And they were just trying to get me to calm down, like calm down, calm down. And I can't remember at which point, but you know, Whitney turned up, and this had been going on for ages now. Like, it wouldn't stop. I couldn't catch my breath again. I couldn't breathe. It was just so I was frustrated because I couldn't breathe, and I was frustrated because I couldn't calm down, and I was frustrated because I felt like I was gonna die. Like, my hands were gonna have to be amputated because there was no life in them and they were blue. And then my feet went my feet, like, at first it started off as like tingling in my legs, and I was like, my legs are tingling, why are my legs tingling? And then my feet started going numb, and I knew that was it. I knew that I was gonna die. This was the day that I died. I knew I was gonna die. And Whitney came over, and she was trying to help me, and she was just like, it's okay, like, calm down, it's gonna be okay, calm down. And at one point, you know, I finally managed to catch my breath, and I was fine. So they said to her, like, you need to take her home, take her home, take her home. And then we started walking, and then it started again. I could not breathe, and she was trying to get me to calm down. It literally just kept happening and kept happening and kept happening. At the end of the day, we finally managed to get me home after like multiple panic attacks happening like simultaneously and back to back. I got home, and as some of you recall, my mum had breast cancer at one stage, so we kind of have like a few medical things at home. And the first thing that my mum brought up was like, we need to check your blood pressure. At that point, my blood pressure was like, I think it was 60 something. So we were panicking, but I was also, you know, so tired. I felt really, really exhausted, and I fell asleep. And the next day we checked again, and it was 60 something. So we kind of called the hospital, and they're like, you need to go A&E. I went A&E. By the time I got to A&E, it was like 50 something. I was so convinced I was gonna die, guys, like, for real. I thought this was the end of my life. But, you know, after all of that, over the last few months, my blood pressures continued to dip, you know, up and down, and now I'm literally below 100. We can't get it to go up, and they're not sure why. They don't want to give me anything for hypertension because technically they don't feel like that's what's happening. But, you know, to me, I feel like what happened, or what has been happening, is that I've been overwhelmed with life. I've been so overwhelmed with work. I've been extremely stressed, like super stressed, and to the point where I think my body was just like, this is the only way to get her to slow down, and it just like crashed. So as a result of that, I realized, I came to, like, I had my friggin' epiphany. I had my moment of realization, and I realized that, number one, I wasn't happy. Number two, my health comes first. Number three, I don't know which finger is the swear word, so whatever. Number three, I realized that at the end of the day, the only person that cares about me when it comes to the workplace is myself. So that there's no point me being falling apart and literally dying because I felt so stressed from work. And because I was so stressed, I was unhappy. So I made a really, really huge decision. And, you know, the one person I thought would definitely be like, no, 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 was my mum. So when I told her, you know, I'm gonna give him my notice at work, I can't do it anymore, and she said yeah. She actually agreed with me, and I couldn't believe it. So that's the moment when I realized that like everyone around me had probably seen what I couldn't see. You know, for example, my friend Whitney, our relationship is not even, you know, what it used to be anymore because we hardly even speak. You know, the same with a lot of people around me. I just haven't been able to maintain anything because I was so immersed in what I was doing at work. And I knew that I had to like stop. And you know what happens in life is that we go through, you know, stages of life, and a lot of the time we feel like this is how it's supposed to be. So, you know, after taking such a huge amount of time off university, of school, I went back, I got my degree, and it's like, okay, now you get a job. Okay, now you work your way. Okay, promotion. Okay, next step, you know? Like, I felt like I had these milestones of life that I had to keep hitting, you know, at the expense of my joy, of my being. And I realized that, hey, like, after taking that time off work because I was dying, I realized that nobody cares. Like, if I died, nobody cares. As long as the work gets done, no one actually cares about the person, and the only one that cares about me is me. So I gave him my notice at work. I had a 2 months notice period, and then actually near the end of that 2 months notice period, you know, I sat down with one of my managers, and she was like, okay, like what is it that you want to do? And I said, right now I don't know, but I do know that I want to probably maybe freelance within my field, and then also I want to do something that I really enjoy, which is YouTube. So I wanna have some time to just make some videos, and that way if I'm freelancing, then I can kind of balance both and be happy. And I want to be happy. I don't care about money. For me, money's not a huge thing. I'm not trying to make a whole load of money. And I'm not trying to be like that power professional woman or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, there's my priorities are a little bit different. I want to have something for myself. I want to build something for myself. And the only way I can build something for myself is if I give myself the time to do that. So working freelance, I can then concentrate on a few projects that I have, a few ideas I have in my mind. Some of you know that I sell like my whipped shea butter. I'm definitely not trying to be like the next Laila-Jean Naturals or anything like that, but I really enjoy making my shea butter. I really enjoy like my niche customer base that come back to buy the products and actually enjoy it. And you know, sometimes I go months without any product because I don't have time to make anything. So you know, now I have time to work on those little things in my life. I actually have like a little idea of something that I want to create, and I have a friend that's going to help me do it. And now I have time to be, you know, creative, and that's who I am. That's what makes me happy. But at the same time, obviously I'm not an idiot. I need to freelance so I can make money to pay my bills. So yeah, as a result of that, you know, they offered me 2 days at work freelancing. Well, not necessarily freelancing because I'm on a part-time contract. So basically I work part-time now. At my old workplace I do 2 days a week, and then outside of that I will be like, you know, freelancing and kind of helping people out, and then putting a few of those ideas I have in mind in place as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know just why I've been the way I've been, or why I've been away. But the most important thing that I want to let you guys know is as a result of being so poorly, so stressed, so kind of, I allowed like my soul to die slightly this year because I was trying to be something that I thought I had to be, and as a result of that, you know, I've got all these health issues now. I've been told that I need to like work out every day. which I used to have time to do stuff like that, but you know, I didn't. So now I'm trying to get back on my fitness game. I lost weight. I wasn't trying to lose weight, I lost weight. And that's not my aim. My aim is not to be like stick thin again or anything like that. As you guys know, I used to be super slim. I was born slim, and then I had like a growth spurt at like 20 something and I got really fat. And a lot of you kept asking me if I was pregnant, so thank you for creating insecurities inside me. And I worked really hard to lose that weight and get to like a size that I really like, and then I lost weight and I was a little bit upset about that. So basically I'm trying to get myself in a good place and be happy within myself again, and do something for myself, build something for myself, have something I can call my own. Not necessarily YouTube. I'm not trying to make YouTube my business, but I'm trying to create something outside of YouTube, and that gives me the opportunity to have time for YouTube, if that makes sense. So now I'll be able to like balance my life and be able to actually have this hobby that I enjoy so much and continue to do that while I work on my other projects, and I can share it with you guys and come on here and be happy again. You know, when my mum was going through cancer and I was at home for those 2 years looking after her, YouTube was my escape. It's like the only thing that kept me sane. It's the only thing that kind of brought me that joy again. And I definitely feel like at this stage in my life, I need this interaction. I need you guys. I need your support, your prayers, especially your prayers, to help me get where I'm trying to go. And hopefully, you know, a few months from now I can come back and be like, hey guys, remember the idea I had about so and so? I've made it happen. We thank God. So yeah, the video is getting long, but I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that, you know, sometimes in life we come to a turning point where, and it can be about anything. Your turning point can come at any stage in your life, and it can literally be about anything. It doesn't have to be career-wise or work-wise or anything like that. But, you know, for me, I reached that turning point and I realized that I want something for myself. If I'm going to be dying, I want to be dying because I'm trying to build something for myself. I don't want to be dying because, you know, I'm trying to be the next, like, digital maverick or something. I don't know. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I hope that this helps someone. But you know, I just want to say that I'm really thankful to you guys, and I'm so thankful to God for putting me in a position where I could actually say I'm going to quit my job without knowing what my next steps were. And I feel so blessed to be able to do that, because not everybody can, even though I think everyone should. At the end of the day, I think if you're unhappy, you should definitely take a leap of faith, and do something to build that happiness. And through your joy, you make money through your joy. Through your joy, you can discover something that you know, your thing that will bring home the bacon. So pray for me, guys, and thank you so much for giving me YouTube, giving me your time, your everything that you give me. I'm so thankful to you guys. So all right. Bye guys.